Hello and welcome back to another episode of Aaron Rating Vines where me, Aaron, will be rating vines except for not completely actually. I've invited a good friend of mine, Jared, and he will be rating this vine with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yes, that's good. So, what vine are we going to read today?
I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never learned how to read Vine.
Why?
One, because my name is Jared.
Mm.
I feel a very, personal connection to this Vine. And two, I think it does a good job of, filling out all the criteria of what we would consider a good Vine.
Good analysis.
Thank
Let's
you.
take a look.
Let's do it.
Jared, could you read number 23 for the class?
No, I cannot.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
Well, that's always a classic.
It's a good vine.
Yeah. What are your first thoughts and impressions?
There's a lot of good social implications that this vine has, sort of challenging the idea that all Americans go to school and all Americans know how to read.
Mm-hmm.
There is such a large discrepancy between economic status and education levels, and there is a surprisingly large number of illiterate people in the United States of America, and I feel like that gets overlooked quite a bit. You normally think of reading levels being lower in countries that are like third world countries. So I think that this vine kind of tackles an issue that you don't normally hear being brought up in many conversations, and I think that's very good.
Yeah, I see that. And also this Vine has a slight nihilist approach, the way I see it. With him joking about his not being able to read, as you said, illiteracy is a very large problem that isn't talked about, but he's made light of, this thing that he isn't able to do. I think another important aspect of this Vine is the brief, 2-second snippet of him just breaking the fourth wall as he looks at the camera after he says he doesn't know how to read. A lot of people don't like breaking, the fourth wall, think it's kind of cliche and doesn't really add anything. I personally love when that happens. It points out the realness behind what's happening. It's not just a staged, staged interaction or self-interaction. He's opening the door to the audience rather than just keeping it to himself.
It is very meta, and I think it's interesting, especially in the context of Vine. Vine does kind of tend to be more of a self-aware medium than most mediums, I'd say. The whole phrase, do it for the Vine, that was big for so long. Obviously, while Vine was alive.
He rest in peace.
But just the whole concept of people being very aware that they were being filmed for Vine or doing things specifically for Vine to get viewings and ratings. The whole concept is pretty meta, and so him breaking the fourth wall just kind of, I think, emphasizes the whole experience of being on this platform. The usage of the name Jared, does that have any significance, do you think?
I really don't think it does. Just because my name is Jared and I can read exceedingly well. Not to toot my own horn, but, I was reading at 5th grade level by 19, so, so I don't really think it has anything to do with, a name or, the label of Jared. It's more just that this person, again, probably grew up in a lower socioeconomic,
Community.
Thank you, community. Yeah, I tried taking Chinese in high school, didn't retain any of that. I took it for 3 years, and, no. I can't speak a lick of Chinese. In that respect, I am this child. I do not know how to read Chinese. Yes.
So I think now would be a good point to move into the physical rating of this Vine.
Okay.
I think starting with relatability, in the sense that you did not know Chinese and do not know Chinese, then it would be very relatable for you on a Jared to Jared level.
Mm-hmm.
I think in general for most people watching this Vine, it's not necessarily relatable just because while there is a disparity between the number of people who don't know how to read and who do, there is an overwhelming number of people who do know how to read in America. So in that sense, not very relatable.
So for quotability, again, personally on a Jared level, wonderful. This is a Vine made for my person. I can whip this out at any point and people will relate to it because like, oh, I've seen that Vine. For other people, probably not so much. I would probably give it a 5.
For sonic quality, definitely huge. I'm going to give this one a 10. It reminds me a lot, if any of you watched one of my previous Vine ratings about the What You Gonna Do Vine, it reminds me a lot of that, where the beat going on in the background is very simple. I don't think that it is the star of the Vine banging on a wall like it is in the What You Gonna Do Vine. However, it is the same idea of a very simple beat that is just adding so much to a video. And I think the beat kind of gets stuck in my head. I don't know about you. So definitely a full 10.
Yeah, it definitely gets stuck in my head too. And also along with like the sound of it, there's that little montage that he does of just him doing random things, taking a picture, just standing in front of a mirror. I think the song with those images just, raises up the Vine that much more. So I would also give it a 10.
Which I think would, in that sense too, give it a 10 for visual quality.
Oh, yes.
The visuals going on are really perfect. I also enjoy the fact that he plays all the characters, both the professor asking the questions and the student responding. And then going into the montage really just kind of hits it home about this being Jared, and he really just does not know how to read.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is all for this Vine review. Thank you very much for tuning in. Comment below any Vines you want to see be rated. And that's all.
Bye.